Diddy is still requesting bail. Another $50 million. No internet, no phones this time, security monitoring, and putting his house up in Miami or all this collateral. Should they let him go?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, right? Why
No.
you say that?
He's not coming home. And that's I'm not hoping that he stands, y'all. I don't have a feeling out of one way or another right now, to be honest. He need to go through the process of the courts, but they not letting that man come out of jail. He got too many resources. They don't trust him at all.
Even though he's acting like he's gonna surrender and let them monitor, he still can make some moves.
They don't care.
Here's what everybody's missing. You can't bargain with what you do not have. So let's break this down. If at any given time Diddy had a freak off at that house in Miami, if at any given time he had a freak off in LA, if he had a freak off in these properties and these things that he's putting up, those things become what we call in the legal department fruit from the poisonous tree. They're going to seize it anyway, so it's already in play. So you have nothing to work with. The only thing they want from you is what they already got from you. And I told people, go back and go watch. You've seen enough of my interviews. Go back. I said they did not go to do that to get evidence against Puff. They went there to make sure they got evidence to get against everybody else so that they could then leverage it. Because you got to look. If you just run down with very few exceptions, take Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla off the table, damn near everybody else who endorsed Kamala Harris has either been to one or has been directly associated with Diddy, up to and including Oprah Winfrey.
So, Dave, what's taking so long? And then I want to say one more thing, because I see people like Mark Lamont Hill trying to make this a race thing. Oh, they only want to release Diddy stuff, and they didn't do this to Jeffrey Epstein. They didn't go to anybody else's house with the feds and arrest their children and put them in handcuffs. Why are they trying to make this a race thing, like as if Diddy's not really a monster, if he is?
Well, I mean, we're all monsters. You're a monster in somebody's life, Drae.
True.
All of us are the bad guy in somebody's story. The truth of the matter is, here's where Diddy went wrong. It's nothing wrong with being kinky. It's nothing wrong with being a freak. The problem is twofold. Number one, when you drug people, that's a problem. Number two, when you use your company money to move people across state lines against their will, and they've said it was against their will. Number three, after you have said freak off and somebody's done from their drunken or drugged out stupor, and you tell them they can't go, that's also illegal. When you pay for prostitutes, that's also illegal. And I don't know, when you blow up Kid Cudi's car, all of that's illegal. That's where he went wrong. The thing of it is, the one thing that, and I'm not trying to move your show forward, but the one thing that I'm really excited about is the fact that Trump won, because he's going to release that Epstein list too.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
So it's not just a black thing. But
I've been waiting for that, and I've been waiting. He said he was going to release the MLK docs. I'm excited to read those.
We gonna get into Trump. Let me ask y'all about the simple fact that where's my train of thought going here? I just had a good question for y'all. Goddamn, give me 1 second. I just lost my train of thought. Oh man, you said something. Damn, you said something. Hold on. Damn, I lost my train of thought, man. Jeez, I had a good one. Damn, what was I about to say about Puff that I wanted to ask y'all? Oh, Dave, the lawyer. I forget his name, from Houston, who has the hotline where you could just call in and say if you've been accused by Diddy. Because they said it's about 100 and something people who've already came out. Is that even realistic, or is this guy just like, I mean, how do you start a hotline and say you've been abused by Diddy?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Drae. How do you start a billboard campaign that says if you've ever been accosted or touched by Bill Cosby, you may be entitled to compensation called Gloria Allred?
They had that?
Yeah, in New York, in LA, in Atlanta, in Philly. What are you talking about? For years. They did the same thing with Shaq, but Shaq just paid Gloria Allred to go away.
Wow.
So how many accusers would Shaq have had if he didn't just cut the check? How many accusers do Puff have? How many accusers does Puff have because he chose not to buy that book from Cassie and just bury the whole thing?
And now they trying to debunk it and say the book wasn't real and all this crazy stuff. And my whole thing is this, right? We see all the celebrities they come out and talk about Kamala Harris, but nobody's even said like free Diddy, free my brother, hope you're doing well. I just want to know, it's really starting to make me think it must really be that much dirt on a lot of people if nobody has even said free the bro or anything. Not even like a picture of him, like, man, nobody has said nothing. Nobody.
So we're gonna act like cancel culture is now at an all-time high here, Drae? We're going to act like we don't know that Jennifer Lopez had that gun and had gunshot residue that night. We're going to act like the only person who is really talking, who aside from Jaguar Wright, is Shine, because Shine's a diplomat in another country who already took the L for him. They got a whole documentary on Hulu about the situation. 50's talking about it. Everybody else knows what time it is. There's a clip of AJ Calloway, formerly of 106 in Park, who was working for Extra at the time, I believe. And he asked John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, what's the wildest thing y'all ever done? And she was like, oh, the Obama thing. And John Legend, and it's hard to make a high yellow old-faced boy look pale white, but he was like, and she was like, oh, I'm in trouble now. Yeah, you in trouble because you talked about the Obama freak off. Oh, wait, I said too much.
Oh man. Speaking of Obama and all of these people, we're gonna get into that. And last thing I want to hit on this subject is, I don't know how much you're involved with the Lil Durk situation, Dave, but are you aware what's happening?
If I'm not mistaken, that's the young man that paid somebody to delete somebody else, right?
Yeah, and what I want to ask y'all, because he paid somebody to do that, and now he got 2 more charges tacked on, and it's just getting worse. And now he's officially going against facing life in jail. And my thing is, 32-year-old man, 6 kids, a wife, you're still running around beefing with 24-year-old boys. I see a lot of the older guys who have platforms, Dave, they're trying to blame this on hip-hop. And the whole Diddy thing as well, they're trying to blame this on hip-hop. This is hip-hop's fault that they're going through this. They only want to target our rich black men. Diddy, Lil Durk, they trying to target our rich black men because I said, wait, time out. Y'all gonna act like, when does self-accountability come back into play? How many times you gonna keep blaming everybody else except ourselves?
Two things can be right at the same time. I think hip-hop has been weaponized at least since 1992 to keep black people on a certain path, and if you're not on a certain path, you go into obscurity or become worse than a has-been. You become a never was. The other part of that is, you can take the kid out, but you can't take the ghetto out of the kid. So hip-hop is responsible, but it's not responsible by itself. And the other part of that is, if we're going to talk about hip-hop, don't just start with the rappers, because I can find a rapper on every street corner in any place in America. There are rappers literally in Iowa right now. Got hot 60s for you. Yeah, I mean, it's the labels, and more importantly than the labels, it's the record companies. Because record labels and record companies are 2 different things. One's an imprint, and the other one is the actual means of distribution and the money and the power. So until such time as you're ready to, like I've always said, bring Jimmy Iovine out of his ivory tower, go after Clive Davis for all the things he's done to black people, but you won't. Look, keep it on the rappers because rap is so negative. Man, please.
That's like, somebody has to be contributing to this. There's a lot of other factors. I mean, these kids aren't just blowing up out of their own pocket.
And when are we gonna say make better choices?
What you mean?
Above all else, we say free these people, or they're attacking these people. If these people made better choices, there wouldn't be anything to attack.
And that's my thing. The whole free,
it's common sense.
The whole free this person thing. I feel like if somebody's doing something out, and you know what I heard someone else try to say. They said that white people, and I hate people. This is why people think I'm so obsessed with race, I guess. But I just see different things. I have to talk about it. But they were saying like white people can't say why we say free people, because they wanna claim jail culture is our culture. And I've heard somebody say this. I swear, big platform. He's like, you don't understand why we say free people even if they're wrong, because those are our people that are in jail. I said, wait a minute. I don't want to sound like Uncle Ruckus or nothing, but I don't know them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to tie myself to jail culture because our people in the bro, this whole debacle is just honestly ridiculous. And I think that's some of the talking points. I don't know where people get them from. And I feel like a lot of people just been doing content for so long. They developed a platform and nobody has ever really got the question of shit that a lot of people be saying, especially some of the street dudes who just got platforms now and everybody follows them. But yeah, it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind.
No, but here's what we're not talking about. There's this thing called the Constitution, which is a living, breathing document. It's supposed to change. It's supposed to evolve, as it should. It's almost like taking a superhero franchise and rebooting it with a new actor. That's why we have so many amendments. There's one called the 13th Amendment. The good part is it says no American should be enslaved except for when he commits a crime. Then they started making crimes out of anything. You go out looking for a job, you're loitering. Oh, you reading? Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you trying to go out here and provide for your family? No, you can't do. So everything becomes a crime. So it's not about jail culture. It's about the fact that jail in the prison system has been weaponized and privatized in order to take advantage of one of the largest American exports, and that is black physical labor.
Yes.
So that part is why you say free such and such. Because if you also look statistically, and I'm talking from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, not from my skin tone, Black people get 2 to 3 times more for the same offense as their white, Latin, and Asian counterparts. And until such time as you're willing to address that part of it, miss me with the this, that, and the third. Because no, they're not my kind, but they are my color. And at any given time, 33% of us will be in prison at some point in our life. That means 1 out of 3 of us is going, statistically.
And that's scary, bro. When I hear that statistic, I get very scared. And I'm like, it's nervous because like then now I see why a lot of the fear mongering works about now you're gonna start getting shot by police every time you go outside.